So today we're going to be making this 3D isometric bedroom design. And as you can see, we can even change up the colors of the walls, change up the scenery. Super simple, basic template, and then you can go in and add your own customization. So here I am in Blender. I'm using version 3.1.2. And also have my screencast keys in the bottom right so you can see exactly what I'm clicking and typing. So let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, let's click on the cube, press the X key, and let's delete this. And then we're gonna do Shift A, go over to Mesh, Plane, and then click on Plane. Then press the S key to scale it up. And let's press 4. And I'll make my room basically 8 squares by 8. And then what we can do is we can tap into the edit mode. And then first thing is I wanna do is click onto this edge select here. And then click on these edges right here. E, Z, and let me press 5. Let me see that's a decent height. I think 5 is good for me. If you want to increase your height of your walls, definitely feel free to adjust that. But basically there. And then now what I want to do is let's go back to our vertices. And then let's select all by pressing A. And then let's do Alt or Option E depending on your computer. And what this will bring up is the extrude, and then make sure you want to click on Extrude Faces along normals. And then basically I'm gonna extrude it, and as you can see it's like slightly like shooting out on the top corner. It's not perfectly even, so we press S. Now it makes it even, and then we can keep it like probably, I mean, like right here is fine for me. And then basically I wanna, before I do anything, I'll select A again and then press Shift N. And basically this just recalculates the normals, except I want to make them on the inside, because if you don't click on inside, when we try to do like the window effect, it's not going to look the same. So that's how we do it there. And then also if you were to tab back out and then go here, and then if you see like face orientation, now you can see too. So if yours is looking like a bluish color, then that means it's the opposite way. But yeah, that's what mine is currently looking like. And so far we have the basics of our room, aka the walls and the floor. So now I want to add actually a little detail, and we're gonna keep it simple for this tutorial, but definitely can go crazy afterwards. But basically I'm gonna click around, let's do number 7, go to the top view, and then make sure if I hover, okay, so right here is essentially where I want to start, because the camera, if I press 0, it's like right here. So basically if I go back to 7, I can hold shift right click, and if you're not clicking on it, do it twice just in case if it doesn't move your little cursor point right here. And then I can do Shift A again, Mesh, Plane, and then now pretty much we're good here. So I'm going to do 7 again, and then we can do Shift Z to go to wireframe. I can scale this along the Y-axis, which is the green. And essentially these are going to be like wooden planks. And let's do like, I'll make mine a little thinner. And then scale this along the X, and let's just put it as far as, actually I could just press 4, that way it's perfect the same size as the room. And then let's move this over a little bit, so let's do, I can press G or 3, I mean, and that gives us this view right here, G, Y, and I'll move it right about to the edge where I see the line there. And then I can tab into edit mode, extrude, and basically these are like wooden planks, so make them as high as you like. And then I'll tab out, Shift Z, and now we have a little plank right here. Now again, you can go ahead and adjust things if you want to. Also if you want like bells and stuff, feel free, but for this sake I'm just keep them just like this. And then we're gonna go here to our little wrench, add the modifier, add the array, and right now it's along the X, so let's make this 1 on the Y. X will be 0, except now I want to make this like 1 point, let's do 1.04, and it gives us like a little tiny little gap. And then we can basically just increase this till we get to the edge of our wall, and looks like 16 would be the height, except see that's a little bit longer, so I'll go back to 7, Shift Z, and then basically I'm gonna, so since it's going along this way, I'm going to scale it again because it's a green line, so SY. And let's scale it until it pretty much is basically even with this wall. Shift Z again. And then now we have a little wooden plank. Also, you could do this with a other types of stuff. You can add materials to this, like wood materials, or if you just don't want wood, you can just make this all one color too. And then also make sure you guys save this. So file, save, or save as. I already have my name, so I'm just do Control S. We save it here, and now we can rename some stuff. So first off, let's call this the I'll call it like the room. I could say the walls, but I'll just say like the room, just for simplicity's sake. Here I want to call this one the wood floor. Okay, so now what I want to do is create the window. All right, so let's do this. Let's shift right click on our wall, wherever you want the window to be. I want it to be on this side, so I'm just gonna shift click here, and then let's do Shift A, and then let's add a cube, and then here we go, we have our cube right here. All right, so now what I want to do is we're gonna use a Boolean. So what you need to do first is basically you click onto the object that you want to be essentially cut out. You click on Add Modifier, and then you click on Boolean. And then here you can select the object, which would be aka our cube, aka we got the cube here. Also, if you didn't have that, you can just literally click it like this. And then if I were to click on this cube now and press H, look at that, it works. Now if you're doing this for some reason not working, like I said earlier, you have to make sure you have your normals in the current color. Like so this one you can see it looks like this. So if your normals aren't right, just go back, tab in edit mode, and then do Shift N, just like in the beginning, and then that should make it to where it works. And then now I can do Shift A. I'll add a plane, rotate, I think this is the X-axis 90, yep, there you go. I'll press 3 to get side view, Shift Z to go wireframe. And then G, I'll press Y to move it right into the center like this. And then you can go ahead and let's do Shift Z again. And now we can actually add in some basics. So again, this is gonna be a super basic window, so I'm not gonna do anything too crazy, but I'm just gonna pretty much go back into edit mode. So tab, edit mode, Command R or Control R, and we're gonna add a loop cut. I think I'll do it right here. I'll press escape and I'll do Command R again, loop cuts right here. And then what I do is I'm gonna click on this face here. I'm gonna click, basically selecting all of them. And now what's cool is if you were to press the I key now, it looks like this. But if you're wanting to make it to where everything is in setting, each square, you can definitely do that without having to do anything crazy. You can just press I twice, and now you have it essentially like this. So if you prefer the other way, definitely feel free to change it up. And then I'll keep it like here. All right, so I want to show you this cool trick. So if you want to select essentially these outer edges, which are the frame that we need to select, and you want to sit here and shift click, command click, control click, everything. If you already have the face selected like we do right here, all you need to do is press the control and then I, and boom, look at this. We have everything selected except the windows, which we want to keep. Let's do Alt E, extrude along normals, and I want to make this a little bit like, just like a little tiny extrusion right here. And then basically we just have a window like this. And right now it's currently looking like this from the inside. So if you wanted to, you could also extrude from there as well. But I'm just gonna keep it like this since you can't really see on this side of the window. And I'll just tab it. And then now we hit save and we have essentially our basic window, all right? And then I want to add some decorations. So let's do the first one, which will be, let's do the couch. All right, so let's do couch right, let's do it right here. So I'll shift right click again, Shift A, go to mesh, go to cube, and again, this is just gonna be simple couch, but I'll just show you like a basic way to do it. So just scale with Z, and then basically GZ up a little bit like right here. And let me see, how big do I wanna make this? I'll scale this on the X, like about, right about here. And then pretty much we can move this over. So let's go 7, G, and then let's do X, and just move like right here. Okay. So again, we can always edit this later. Scale it on the Y, make it a little bit skinnier about here. And then now what I want to do is add in a modifier. So let's go here, subdivision surface. Let's make this to 2. Go into edit mode by pressing tab, Control R, Command R, whichever one you have. Now we have a loop cut. If you have the scrolling on your mouse button, scroll it to where it gets 2. So what she like this. Now if you don't have that, whenever you were to click and then basically you escape it, and you can actually change it here too. So if you want to add more. But if you have it, then basically just do that. And then press S and then the X and scale this pretty much till you get the desired look you want on your couch. So I'm gonna keep it like here. And then do the same thing again. So Control R, Command R right here. Scale it to 2. Click scale on the Y, so SY. Go like right here. Tab it out, and I'll shade this to smooth. Alright, so far I've got a basic little sitting. And this isn't the actual couch where you sit. This is basically the bottom frame. So I'm going to press S and Z a little bit skinnier. And there we go. Alright, so next thing I want to do is pretty much make this into the little couches we have. So let's do Shift D, GZ, and move it, according to a little bit above the couch here. Scale on the X, and I'll move it like maybe like this. Then let's do GX right about. Let's keep it. Let's do like maybe right here for now. And again, we can always adjust this later, but the simple way is press 7. G adds X a little bit like right here. Scale X, because I want to make it like a little bit in the half, like right here. Then GX again, and just like this. Now you don't want to duplicate this. The easy way is you actually go to add a modifier here. Click on mirror, and then you have to select, obviously, aka our couch, which we didn't select here, would be cube 1. So let's actually go back and rename this really quick. So let's go here. Also, let's actually, let's name this sofa base, and then this would be the sofa cushions right here. And also for this cube, make sure you have the camera outside or clicked off, so that when it renders, it's not showing it. And then we can go here, and then let's do Shift D, press Escape, rotate with R, X 90, and then GZ up like this, and GY like this, and then GZ a little bit up, and then rotate maybe X in a little bit, and then GY so it's not perfect like that. Okay, so now we have a little base right here. And if your couch doesn't have any side arms, then obviously you're done. You just have to add the legs. But let's do that too. Actually, yeah, I want to click on these couches real quick. And let's do scale Z and make them a little bit thicker. And then GZ just a little bit. Just like that. Okay. So now if you don't like it because it's like too much of a gap right here, you can do GY and basically, actually no, GX and move them in. Or you could scale them too, but I'll keep that little gap. You can't really see it from the angle anyways. Let's do Control S, Command S to save. And then basically we could do the exact same thing again with the sidearms. We could do like Shift D, rotate Y 90, GX to the side like this. And then pretty much if you're done with this, you like this design, I mean, you could scale this by Z a little bit like that. And I mean, you could use this as literal couch design too, but I want to show you guys another way because a lot of people might want to have like little stilts. So let's do scale Z, keep them like right here. We can't even do it. Yeah, there we go. And again, you can get super picky with this if you want to, but for the most part, we can do scale. Let's do X a little bit more arm cushion, GX again. There we go. All right, so far this is like the base, and again, you guys can adjust some, so we can like do G right here. And I don't want to spend too much time trying to perfect this stuff, but now I want to show you a cool trick. So we go to 7 here. Actually, let's do this sofa arm rest. Okay, let's save this really quick. And now if you go to 7 and then do Shift Z to wireframe, now I can do a Shift A, mesh circle, S to scale it inwards, and this is actually going to be like the leg base, right? So now if I can move this to like it has to be where the base of the one you created. So if you were trying to do this on the armrest, you'd actually have to make the base extend, but for design sake, I'm gonna keep it like this. So go back to 7, and then basically what you want to do is you click on modifier, add a mirror, and then we have to find the sofa base we just created, except now you have to mirror it both on the X and Y. And then you're pretty much good. Now you have to just tap in edit mode and then extrude it up like Z, like this. And actually, my bad, let me do GZ first. Hold on, tab back out, go to object mode, GZ, move it into the actual sofa. So now you see like this. And then we can extrude it by going back to tab and edit mode, E, extrude, go down, Z, to make it straight, and make sure I'm in the floor. Let me check. Yeah, definitely in the floor. And then before we finish, we can scale this in a little bit like that. And then see, now it's like this, then GZ. Okay, this is like that. And then tab back out to object mode, right click to shade smooth. And then pretty much, I mean, if you wanted to, we could add like the edge split so that it changes the shading a little bit. But so far, look at this. Now it's a different design for the couch. Now again, this is all preference. Now if I want to scale this up a little bit, you know, scale Z like this, GZ up 2. Again, that's all on you if you want to do that stuff. And then we go back to Z or 0. And you can see this is how our thing currently is looking. All right, so go back like that. And then also, if you don't like this back view, you could technically scale this onto the Y like here. GY up, scale Y a little bit bigger actually. And GY like here. And then we could technically scale this out too on the X. That way it's like covering this back part right here, so it doesn't look. Again, it's all preference, and then we can move this back. G, Y right here. And we can scale it even more too if we wanted to. Alright, so again, it's all preference. Whatever you think looks good on your couch, feel free to your own design. But let's save this and then click on here and let's name this the sofa legs. Alright, so far we got a little couch. Now I want to show you guys a cool thing is how to make a little beanie bag or a bean bag. Because if you're making a little gaming hangout room, definitely these are fun, especially if people coming over and stuff. So let's do here. And let's just click onto anywhere over here. So let's just shift right click. I'll just click right in this space. And now let's go ahead and add in a spear by pressing shift A mesh UV spear. And then before we go, let's actually change this to 64. And then the range to 32. Now, if you don't see this, it's because you probably clicked off before it popped up. So you just have to basically delete the spear and redo it again if it doesn't show. And then let's do GZ up like right here. Right click, shade smooth. And now here we're gonna add some physics. All right, so let's go over here. And the physics property is this little icon right here. And then basically what I want to do is add a cloth simulation to this. And I want to go down here and I'm looking for this pressure option. I can put this down to 1. And then for the collisions, let's go down here to self collision. Let's just keep it like that. Now if I were to hit the space bar and play this right now, you can see that it just falls straight through. And what you need to do is actually let's click on a little wooden floor right here. And let's make this a collision. And let's see now if I hit space. You can see it collides with the floor, and look at that. So basically the way this works is, if you don't see the screen, you gotta actually go here, and you can go to dope sheets, the same thing, you'll see this. And when I do shift my left arrow, it resets the animation, and then you play, either pressing spacebar or pressing it like that. And literally, now you can see it looks kind of like a little beanie. So what you need to do is find the exact piece of or frame where you think the bean looks what you want. So I mean, like, right, let's do like 70 for me. It looks good here. So I like this way this looks. Yours might be a different frame. And then what you need to do is go over to the essentially the modifier tab, and then basically you can go here and apply this. Now if I zoom in, I can see mine looks pretty good. I like the way this looks. If you wanted to, you can add some more stuff, but let's just click here and click on apply. And now it's literally permanent. Like, this is everything we have. So now you can see it's like this, and then basically it's chilling on top right here. Now if you don't like, you can move actually by pressing GZ a little bit into the floor. And again, it's all preference. And then basically I can go here and I'm gonna rotate this first by Z, make it look like maybe like this. And then I'll move it probably like GY like right there, GX like here, and then I'll do Shift D again. Actually, let's move it like X, GY, maybe here, and let's press 7 actually. And I'll move it that way, so it's much easier. And again, it's all preference, doesn't matter. And now we have essentially 2. Now I want to make this a little different. So like this one rotates 7, that way it's not looking exactly the same. Give me a different angle and view. And then technically if I were to click GZ down a little bit, that way it's hiding some of the bottom parts. We can add that later. But now you guys have a little beanbag action right here. And now let's go ahead and add in the next thing, which is going to be our little giant TV monitor movie screen. So shift right click on this wall right here, shift A, add a plane, rotate, and this is gonna be the y-axis by 90, scale, and I'll go about like right here, and then I can go scale on the y across, and I'll just be like a giant screen like this. And we can do scale Z to SC, make it a little bigger, and then GZ up a little bit. Actually, I'll keep it like right here. And then I'm gonna tab into edit mode, E, and extrude it up a little bit like this. And then, if you guys don't have this, go to edit, preference, add-ons, type in image, import images as planes. And basically, I just got this off Google, but welcome to put whatever you want as your little placeholder. But we're gonna do shift A, go down here to image as planes, and basically this is gonna bring up your files. I'm gonna find my image in my file that I downloaded, and then I'll have it shown here. So I'll click on this and upload this real quick. All right, so I just added my little image right here, it's a little video game. So I'll click on this screen so I can see it. And let's do GX because it's currently being blocked. And instead of doing that, I can just do tab and then extrude it out a little bit. There we go. Like that. And then here I can just scale this out. And let's go back to the solid so I can see the edges. And I'm gonna go to 3, shift Z, and then we'll do GZ like this. Let's scale it up center a little bit. So I want to have like some sort of outlines on here, so GZ up a little bit, and then we can scale this on the Y as far as you would like. So like this maybe, shift Z again. Let's go to render view, and so far, ooh, it's very thick. So let's click back and let's GX this until it's like really thin. Okay, there we go. And now we can save this. And look at this, so far we got something going on. And now I want to add in our basics on design aesthetics. We can do like click over here, shift A, mesh, cube, scale Z, make a little shelf right here, scale X like maybe like this, scale Y like right about here, and then I'm gonna make a GY and stick this out. Actually, let's do scale Y a little bit smaller, and then GY, boom. And then I'm gonna just shift D, G, X, and bring this across like maybe like right here. I guess on preference. I just add a little basic little lamp thing. So I can go and do shift A and actually add a little torus. Scale it down like this. GZ up here. GY like this. Scale it even more. And then let's go closer. GY over like this. And then I'll scale it even smaller. Right click, shade smooth. Shift A, mesh, UV sphere. Scale this thing down as much as you can. GZ. Again, this is just decorations. You don't have to add like perfect, but SZ, scale it like this, then GZ down. And basically, if you go to 7, it'll be much easier. So I can put GY like right here in the center. Okay. So now it's just a little design I have, and I can just smooth this too. And then I'll show you guys how I add a little effect with the lights. But again, obviously you can do Shift D, GX here, and then you can make your own lamp, little light design you want to. But I think this one's just simple and easy to follow along with. I'll move this a little bit over, like right there. Okay. And so far as what our camera is looking like. And then now I want to finish off by creating the table, and then we're gonna add the lights, and then we can go ahead and finish up from there. So first of all, let's just click here, Shift R, or no, Shift right click, Shift A, mesh, cube. Now usually if you wanted to add obviously like a computer chair, desk table, all that stuff. You can do that, but feel free to use this as a template. But I kept that out for this video because it's usually people have very custom things. Right now I'm just doing Shift Z and then I moved up G. But usually people have very custom, let me scale this up Z a little bit, custom designs for their room. So I don't want to make something too specific. That way you can have more room with that. But for the most part, like adding the lights, windows, and usually that's the biggest part. But now let's make this little table. I mean, we can scale this up a little bit if we want to. And here's a little basic table. You know, you got some snacks and stuff. Let's do GUI like right there. And then I can do tab, Control R, Command R. And then we'll do loop cuts. So let's start off 2 right here. Scale. Oh, this is X. No, my bad. The Y. Scale like right here. And then Control R again or Command R. Scale and X right there. And then we can tab into this with a forward slash. Not tab, I mean forward slash, and goes into it like this. Then we go to the bottom of it. We can switch to the face select. Click right here, 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 and here. And then we can tab back in, or forward slash, keep saying tab. Forward slash back in, and then extrude it down until you pretty much go through the floor. And boom, got a little basic table, just like that. All right, and now I want to show you guys how I added my LED light. So first off, let's click anywhere on this wall. So we basically have the room selected. Forward slash into here. And then first off, let's do this. Let's press Control A or Command A and let's apply the scale. That way, if I go press N, you can see the scale is 1:1. Okay, so I'll click here, tap into edit mode. I'll select these little edges right here. Make sure you have the edge select right there. Then I'm gonna press Shift D, so now we have these copied. Press the escape key, press the letter P, selection, separate this, and then I can tab back in object mode, click on my room. And now if we were to tab in edit now, we basically have these now. So I select A, select them all, forward slash again, that way we're now in here. And then we don't need this little Boolean anymore, so we can delete that. We can click on this add modifier, add a little skin modifier right here. And then basically what we can do here is, this is what we can do. We can do, first off, Shift Z, you can see the wireframe. We can switch this to our vertex, do Command A, and then basically now you can see it just scales up like this. I want to have it like it right about here. And then I'll tab back out and then Shift Z, and now we got this going on. So now if I forward slash back out, you can see we have it looking like this. So it doesn't look the best, but we can move it like GZ. Actually, no, hold on. Make sure I have it selected, just the lights. If I can make sure I'm selecting just like these. And these might actually be a little too big. So let's go forward slash again, Command or tab, edit mode, Shift Z, Command A, and make them a little bit smaller. Tab back out to object mode, and then forward slash Shift Z. Now we can see solid. Let's click back on here. Let's call this like the rainbow LEDs or just LEDs. And then we do GZ up like this. And then it looks like, I think GX. Well, actually, hold on. Let me click first and then click GX. And like this. And it looks like it might be sticking out a little bit. So actually, let's Command or Shift Z or Command Z. And for now, we'll have to basically, I'm gonna have to color this in first so I can see it because it's hard to tell right now. But basically, this is what we got here, and then technically we can just wait. Actually, now let's do this. First off, let's save this. And now the part we've been waiting for is coloring this stuff in. All right, so first things first. Let's add a plane first. Shift A, mesh, plane. Scale, let's do like 20. Scale it even more if you want to. GZ. And I'll keep it like above the dotted line here. And then actually, let's do this. Let's select everything. No, click on the plane. Let's hide this first. Then select everything with A, G, Z. And basically, you want to have it right above this line. Alt H to unhide it. And looks like now we're good to go. So now, let's get the fun parts. First off, here's the camera. So let's click here. Click on the camera. And I'm gonna do shift, little asterisk sign by 1, and then that basically lets us move it out like here. And I have it looking like maybe like right there. So that means I have to extend the plane a little bit. And then the thing is, the camera view is in perspective. So we gotta go here, change this to orthographic. And now we can zoom out a little bit more. And this is what we got going on so far. So I like this. If you want to change the location like here, move it up and down, that's how you do it with the Y. I'll keep it at 0. It's surprisingly actually quite even. And now let's save this and we can start going crazy editing stuff. So first of all, let's go to the little wood floor. Click the world map is new. I'll name this like wood. Now obviously you can add textures and stuff too to make it more realistic, but for the sake of simplicity, I'll keep it like maybe let's see, like right here. And again, I can always edit this later, so let's keep it like a lightish brown. Also, I need to change this plane color first of all. So I'll click on here, the plane, and just click new here. And I can rename this later in a second, but let's make this all black because I wanna do a little coloring with the lighting. Turn this roughness down to basically, let's make it to 1. That way there's no like glares. And then for the couch, oh yeah, I forgot to parent everything to the couch. So first off, let's go over here. Click here, shift click the armrest, the cushions, then the wooden legs, and then the last one be the base, and then you can P or Command P and then keep transform. So that way now if you wanted to like scale this down, you could, and I can move it around too. And then now I can go here, click on new, and I can just call this like the sofa. I mean the sofa just like a nice darkish blackish looking color. Maybe you can even make a little blue too. Again, we'll keep it, I'll try to keep it like this first and see how this looks. And so far it's alright. Here, let's do this. Click on this little arrow and click right there. And then we'll add it again. So if you're used to adding colors, then basically you can just go crazy with this. But the main thing I want to show you guys is the LED lights, because that's something that's hard to do. Now here we can change this. We can make this like the wood. Actually, no, I want to change this. So I can actually click this little duplicate right here. And this basically makes a new one. So I can put like dark wood, and then I can make this like a darkish brown if I wanted to. And maybe a little too dark looking, but again, when we add the lights and stuff, you'll be able to tell. And then I go back to our camera view. So far, looking all right. So hit save. And then you also notice that I didn't, okay, let me make sure to click off that. Also looks like our window's a little bit higher. So let's do GZ, move it down a little bit, just like there. And then let's add in some coloring to our beanbag. So let's go here. I think I'll make this one like a reddish maybe. Yeah, like a bright red. Take out some of this roughness. This one can be like a blue. Again, you can name the colors too for simplicity. So I'll keep like a blue like here. And roughness, I'm tearing it down a little. I'll make it a little bit brighter. Here, these can be, maybe these like a dark black. So I'll just call it black here. And basically, boom, these are our shelves. So I'll click this like that. New. And let's click like there. And also, I want the entire thing except the walls to be black. So I'll click here. Actually, yeah, I can do, yeah, let's do that first. Let's do new again and just call this like the room color. Cause if I want to change this later, I can always change this. But maybe like a bluish. Yeah, let's do like a dark blue, almost basically dark black. And then I'm gonna add some lights soon, but don't worry. Here we can do is, let's go to their table real quick here. Let's call this one. Actually, I could just do the dark wood. Let's see how that looks. I mean, it looks fine for now. And then what I want to do is go here, change this one to like a dark gray almost, like this. And then we can add in our window. So first off, tab in edit mode. And we have this selected, so let's do new. And let me see how this gray material I just added looks. So far, it's looking like this. But we have to add a new material because there's no one here. So then you have to hit the face select and then just select these faces right here. Click on this, new, change this to an emission. Make this like 20, tab out. Actually, no, I forgot to assign this. Tab back in, press assign. Okay, looking like this. And then don't worry, because when we switch this to cycles, it's gonna look way different. And then let's go here. Let's click on these toruses right here. Let's click new. I'll make these like a dark green. And it looks like I didn't click on this other one, so let's click here. Again, this is just coloring it from the let's put this like a green, dark green. And I'll go back and name all these afterwards, but if you guys want to keep organization, you can click on these, click these, and you can name them while you're doing this. So you can put like light green, and we'll make this like an emission with like a neon green looking color. It looks like I can't apply it at the same time, so let's just go click on here, light green like this, and we can make this like 10 maybe. Okay. And right now you notice the light hasn't been showing. Let's save this first. And then now let's go ahead and let's check cycles out for a second, because it look very different in cycles. So it looks like this now. It looks more realistic. Let's go back to EV. I want to do is first off, let's create these rainbow LED lights. So I want to see what it looks like right now if I were to add just a normal emission and then just make this like, I don't know, 20. So it looks like this, not bad so far. It's decent. So let's click on it, on this light, / and then we got to go here to the shading tab. And basically what we're going to do here is just change this up. So let me see, / again. And pretty much what I want to do is, first of all, let me find my, right here. So we have it under as emission. So I need to basically create a gradient. So first off, let's do Shift A, and then let's do color ramp. Bring it over here. Go over here, press F, or you can just drag it. And then I want to add, and let's do Shift A again. Let's do mapping. Put it right here, and then also want to add Shift A, texture coordinates. Where is my texture coordinate? Right here. Little generated. Bring it like this. Vector right here, and then pretty much I want to, let's change this to like a random, let's go like red here, like super bright here, plus this one will be like blue, this one can be like green, and you can see it's already working right now. That one can be like a blue, this one can be I mean, whatever color you want to make it, pretty much. And then let's add some more stuff here. Let me see, like this maybe. Let's turn this down to like maybe 10. This one's not as different as it wanted to be. Like this. And again, obviously you can play around with this. The more colors you add, obviously it's gonna look a little different. But you get the point here. This is basically just making like a little rainbow, like a rainbowish looking color right there. And again, feel free to have fun with that. I'll keep it just like this for simplicity's sake. / back in. And then now we see we have this like rainbow light going on. So now if we were to go to cycles now, it looks much different. But don't worry, we're going to fix the lighting, because right now, technically, if I exit off this and delete it, this is currently what it looks like. And it's not fully done because we still have to add the lighting over here and also on the couch. But for here, I'm just going to go here and then Shift D, GZ. And I'm going to add it up. Now it's literally, I can't even see. So I'm going to go back to EV. Switch to this view. And then GZ up. Till I get about right where the corner's at. GZ again. And then I'll save it first. And then now I'll add in the final lighting. So I'll show you guys how I did this. So if we go back to EV now. It's literally, you can't see anything. Shift A. I added a lights, an area light. So GZ up a little bit like this. Let's do maybe 200, and then let's do Shift D again. G, I think it's Y, yeah, right here. And then I want it to be like rotate, so rotate X facing here, and then rotate Y a little bit out like that. Or you can just press double R, and then it gives you a much easier way to rotate. And then I want to go check cycles again just to see how the lighting is looking. So it's all right now. I'm fine with that. And again, feel free to play around with this. But what I want to do is show you guys how I add those fancy lights. So let's do Shift A light point GZ. Let's go to one view. GZ down like right here. GX. Let's put it right here. Go here. I think I put like 100, and then I made this just like a green neon. So I want to see if I go to EV and cycles now, how it looks. And so far, let me see, where's my light? Oh, it's not even GY. It needs to be closer to the, so 3, yeah, okay, now it's over there. So now you can see it has much more of that effect. Maybe 200. Sure, maybe that's better. And then I do Shift D, GX, move it down over here as well. And then we have that. And then the last but not least, we got to go over here first, go to EV. So Shift or Control save, Command save first. Shift A again, light, point light. Switch to 1, GZ up a little bit like right here. Go to 3, GY. Go under the couch. Now this is the easiest way I found to do this. Again, there's probably different ways, but G, let's go X. Switch this to like, I don't know, let's do like 50 maybe. And then just change these to whatever color you want. So I'll go like pink, Shift D, GX again. Let's go red, Shift D, GX, Shift D, then GX, and then let's do like a purplish like this. And then I'll go 0. Table might need some, I want to scale the table a little bit smaller. Looks a little too big. GZ down, like about right there. And then I will go to 0 now. See, this is EV, so it looks weird because it's, save it. If you like this, feel free, but if you go to cycles now, and then you can see it's significantly much brighter. The light actually comes through from the outside. And then also you can see our lights and everything. And then for the renders, I mean, you can do 256 for the viewport, but for the render, I mean, 512. If you put 512, noise threshold, I got 0.01, and then denoise, then you're pretty much good to go. And then you can just go here, and then this is where you would change your file where you want it to look. And then basically you just render image, and then pretty much once it's done, you are set to go. And then you have the final results. So if this video helped you out, you like this, make sure you guys go down below, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more content, comment below any other additional thoughts to this, and I'll see you in the next video.